No one expected a single flower basket to shake an entire concert arena. No one expected it to come from Dilraba Dilmurat. And absolutely no one expected Liu Yuning to blush so visibly that fans still replay the moment frame by frame today. What began as one simple gesture has now grown into one of the warmest, most talked about friendships in the entertainment world. And tonight, we're telling that full story, the real, layered, emotional story, right here on Celeb Buzz Insider, where we look beyond the rumors and into the human connections that make the industry feel alive. It all started with a flower basket shaped like a guitar. Not a traditional arrangement, not the usual grand display celebrities send, but a custom-designed piece that perfectly matched Liu Yuning's identity, the musician who built his career with a voice that cuts through both noise and pressure. When fans arrived and saw the guitar shape from a distance, they screamed long before seeing the signature. But when they finally read the card attached, the stadium practically vibrated. The sender's name stood alone, Dilraba Dilmurat. And beneath it, in delicate handwriting, were the words, "Sing with joy. Shine freely." A message simple enough to sound casual, yet thoughtful enough to feel intimate. But here's the twist. This wasn't the first time she had sent him flowers. It wasn't even the second time she had shown up for him in ways no one publicly knew about. And that's when this story begins to unfold into something bigger than a trending hashtag or concert surprise. Because behind that guitar-shaped basket lies another moment that only insiders knew, a late-night flower shop, a pair of tired hands, and a quiet determination to create something meaningful. Months earlier, during Liu Yuning's concert stop in Shenzhen, another flower basket had appeared, much larger, much louder, and signed not just by Dilraba Dilmurat but by the entire four-member variety show team known as Healy Mo Jinyu, consisting of Dilraba Dilmurat, Baiyu, Jin Jing, Zhou Qiyu, and, of course, Liu Yuning. It quickly became the center of fan discussions. But the origin story behind that arrangement was something else entirely. According to the florist who revealed the truth later, Dilraba Dilmurat herself arrived at the flower shop around 2 a.m. She had come straight from set, still in costume, her hair clipped up chaotically, her makeup half removed from a long day of shooting. She didn't simply ask the shop to put something together. She carefully chose roses one by one. She compared colors under different lighting. She rearranged stems until they formed the look she wanted. At one point, she pricked her finger on a thorn. The florist panicked, but she just smiled and said, "It has to look like the way Liu Yuning sings, warm, steady, and shining." It wasn't for publicity. It wasn't for media attention. It was effort that took time, thought, and sincerity. The kind of sincerity that reveals how real friendships quietly build themselves behind the scenes. When the basket was finally complete, she messaged Baiyu and Jin Jing. "We should remind him that friendship lasts forever." That was how the four-person flower basket came to be. And when fans heard the florist's story, their reactions shifted from excitement to genuine emotion. Because in an industry where the line between sincerity and strategy is often blurred, this gesture came from a place that felt unmistakably real. But this bond didn't begin in concert halls or flower shops. It started much earlier, in 2023, when Liu Yuning and Dilraba Dilmurat starred together in the historical drama The Legend of Enlil. Their on-screen characters were entangled in politics, loyalty, and complicated affection. Off-screen, however, they were nothing like their roles. Fans described them as walking chaos, constantly teasing each other, joking about their height difference, and turning every behind-the-scenes clip into a mini comedy show. They weren't selling chemistry. They weren't performing for cameras. They simply got along, effortlessly, naturally, and at times hilariously. But things shifted again in 2025 when they reunited on the mystery variety show Let's Start Reasoning 3. This time, their dynamic evolved into something fans called sibling energy done right. Liu Yuning joked that his life dream was to operate an excavator at a vocational school. Without missing a beat, Dilraba Dilmurat laughed and replied, "Only after you get a cooking license." When he teased her for being pickier with flower baskets than scripts, she immediately snapped back, "And you change suits more often than you change your playlist." Their banter wasn't scripted. Their reactions weren't staged. Their interactions felt lived in, the kind that only forms when two people share a comfortable, unforced connection. That's why the guitar-shaped flower basket at the Beijing concert wasn't just a visual spectacle. It symbolized something fans had already sensed but couldn't fully articulate. And when Liu Yuning walked on stage wearing a black suit paired with a rose-shaped lapel pin, the exact shade of the roses Dilraba had chosen months earlier, fans noticed instantly. During his performance of A Beam of Light in the Night, he turned his microphone toward the audience, and the stadium cameras unexpectedly zoomed in on a glowing sign that read, Healy Mo Gnu, open 24/7. It was a tribute crafted by fans, referencing the team that had entertained them with laughter, warmth, and unfiltered friendship. When Liu Yuning saw the sign, he smiled, a small, brief, involuntary smile that carried more meaning than 1,000 words. Of course, the internet reacted with all its usual intensity. The topic Dilraba Dilmurat and Liu Yuning friendship ceiling passed hundreds of millions of views. Fans celebrated their warmth. Some joked that Liu Yuning's ear-turning red moment deserved its own fan club. Others circulated edits of the guitar basket with captions like, "Roses blooming everywhere." But inevitably, speculation followed. A few online accounts tried to turn the story into something else, framing it as romantic buildup or promotional strategy. Some fan groups defended, some argued, and some created analysis charts with timelines and theories. But when confronted with the noise, Liu Yuning didn't avoid it. In a backstage interview, twisting a water bottle cap nervously, he simply said, "We're just good friends." No dramatic monologue. No lengthy clarification. Just a straightforward answer from someone who has always spoken plainly. Dilraba Dilmurat followed with a short message on Weibo, a photo of the concert lights and the caption, "Sounds beautiful." Fans flooded the comments not with anger but with gratitude, thanking her for supporting him, thanking him for being honest, thanking both of them for keeping things genuine. And that is what sets their friendship apart. In a world where partnerships are often arranged, where interactions are sometimes engineered for visibility, and where closeness can easily become content, the connection between Dilraba Dilmurat and Liu Yuning feels refreshingly unscripted. It isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It isn't decorated with over-the-top gestures. It lives in the details. The late-night flower shopping, the thoughtful messages, the quiet encouragement, and the laughter that fills the spaces between professional obligations. Among dozens of flower baskets sent by senior artists, production teams, and industry friends, the ones that dominated fan discussions were not the most expensive or the largest. They were the ones created with sentiment and intention. Those gestures haven't just strengthened the bond between two artists. They've given fans a new understanding of friendship, one that doesn't rely on labels, hype, or speculation. Just presence. The beauty of this story lies in how ordinary it truly is. These are two people working in a challenging industry, supporting each other in ways that feel human, thoughtful, and natural. When people ask whether men and women can share a deep, sincere friendship without romantic implications, they've already answered the question through their actions, through the way they show up for each other, through the way they treat each other with humor, honesty, and warmth. Because sometimes, the person who makes you laugh during a long filming day, who teases you until you roll your eyes, who chooses flowers at 2 a.m., and who cheers for you quietly from the audience, isn't a romantic partner. It's simply that irreplaceable friend who walks beside you through chaos, pressure, and the blinding heat of stage lights. And for many fans, the genuine warmth between Dilraba Dilmurat and Liu Yuning, has become a beautiful reminder that the strongest bonds often bloom in the smallest moments. On Celeb Buzz Insider, we'll continue following these stories that go beyond headlines, capturing the heart inside the spotlight.